is not a dog. You heard me right. Blue from Blue's Clues is not a dog. Sure, she looks like a dog, she barks like a dog, but she is not a dog. Get this! Blue's in fact an advanced member of an alien species looking to learn from humans in an eventual bid to take over planet Earth. An alien species that is getting closer to achieve their goals season by season. And here's the craziest part, this is barely a theory. As you're about to see, practically all of this is explicitly spelled out in the show's canon. So sit down in your thinking chair and think about your impending servitude to an army of canine-themed overlords. That's Alien for sit and obey. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Conspiracy with a Twist, the show that's really found its niche, talking about the dark lore of children's programming starring puppies. It is a very specific content category, but we are dialed into it. And now I'm going to hand it off to Cooper. The iconic Nickelodeon kids show that ran for 10 years between 1996 and 2006, getting revived in 2019. Every episode was an interactive audience adventure as the animated dog in blue and her human companion roamed around their storybook house in order to find 3 clues that would help them solve the episode's big mystery. Honestly, when you look at it, this thing is like a training ground for theorists of the future. Blue's Clues walked so Conspiracy with a Twist could run. Along the way, they sing songs, read the mail, and do stuff like that. You know, the good sort of formulaic that any kids show really thrives off of. The show was hosted by Steve for 4 seasons, who then went off to college and passed the baton on over to his younger brother, Joe. Now I'm going to pass it on to Jasper.
Now it's co-iteration, Blue's Clues and You. It's hosted by the cousin Josh, all wearing primary colors, all equally oblivious to the obvious answers outlined right in front of their faces. Sure, Steve, I'm sure your dog Blue wants to eat a bubble sandwich once in a while. Try it. See how much dog vomit you're cleaning out of that carpet. Anyways, Blue's Clues is probably, in my opinion, one of the best kids program of all time. If you've never seen it, who taught you how to feel? Me too, Steve. Now I'm going to pass it back to Eli.
I didn't forget you either. Who's cutting the onions in here? Anyways, we've moved on to revisiting some of the classic Blue's Clues in order to fill the void our Friday night movie nights. And let me tell you, let's go back to the show as someone older, and I'm picking up a lot of small, strange details here and there. Things that really make me use my mind and take a step at a time.
Me too.
And I got to tell you, it's time to do the thing I want to do, which is expose Blue's Clues. You see, the colorful storybook world of Blue's Clues holds a secret in its later seasons. Clues for the alien species that it is. And spin-off movies, a secret that retextualize the entirety of the show. For decades, we've been led to believe that Blue is a puppy. Nope, she is anything but. She is an emissary from the stars scouting us Earthlings. And our reckoning is coming, friends. So skidoo on over because it's theory time, theory time, theory time. Oh yeah, clue? Oh, clue. Oh, what did you say? You have the flu? Sorry to hear that. I've been sick too lately. You can probably hear it in my voice. It's been a really nasty winter so far. No, a clue? Oh, you see a clue. Thanks for the first clue. This is the subscribe button. Let's put that in our handy dandy notebook. Welcome, tablet. Right, so we draw one line at the top, a long line at the bottom, connect the two to some rounded lines at the end, and then we write the word subscribe in the middle.
Wait, does yours not look like that? You better fix that, otherwise Mailbox is going to cry. And you don't want him to make Mailbox cry, do you? Let's begin in a simple place, shall we? Blue's age. The sheer fact that Blue is still alive in a new reboot series automatically throws her dogness into question, considering she should be 100% dead at this point.
In the world of the show, there's clearly a passage of time that's established. For the obvious example of this, in Season 4, Steve goes off to college. They're done. Time is not frozen until inside the universe. Season 5, Episode 29 tells us the story of how Steve first met Blue. At the time, she was a young puppy and Steve looked to be about 8 years old, which tells us that They were together for at least 10 years before Joe entered the picture. Season 2, Episode 9, Blue's Birthday. Blue's cake has 8 candles in it. And we were not talking about dog years either. I think we've all heard the general rule of the thumb that 1 year for a dog equals about 7 years old of human life. So if your dog is two real years old, its dog age would be about like 14, right? Well, it turns out that the math isn't exactly that simple. Dogs mature more quickly than we do early in our life. Size and breed also plays a factor, with a smaller dog tending to live longer than other larger ones. Well, based on her floppy ears, she's likely one of the breeds from the hound family. We also know that Blue talks a lot in howling barks and high-pitched whines. This also fits with the hound group, as dogs breed for hunting, having a very similar distinctive sound, and tend to be more talkative than other dogs because they had to communicate with their humans while on the chase. But the thing is that actually clinches it is her weight. We know based on Blue's visit to the vet in Season 5, Episode 30, that she weighs at about 50 pounds, which would put her as one of the smaller hounds. In other words, Blue most likely resembles a beagle, giving her a rough life expectancy of 15 years, at absolute best. For the record, the oldest dog in history is 22 years, and I doubt they were sprightly as our puppy Blue here. So if Blue was 8 at the top of Season 2, and now 23 years later we have this new reboot, there is no way that she should be qualifying for puppy status, let alone living status, if she were actually a dog. What's that? Maybe time froze between season breaks? I mean, you would think that, but no. Time continued to march forward for all the characters. In this case in point, Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper. In the Season 1 finale of Blue's Clues, the big mystery solved that these two seasonings are having themselves a baby named Paprika. It is really cute, but by the 4th season, Paprika has become a toddler. 2 years have passed in 2 seasons. In Season 4, the family has themselves another child, Cinnamon. By the series wrap, the Cinnamon is still a baby that can barely talk. But hold on, in this new reboot series, Blue's Clues and You, everyone is older. Paprika is a teenager with a smartphone, and Cinnamon is probably around 10 wearing a cool sideways ball cap. The full 21-year gap between the original series and the finale, original series finale and the reboot hasn't passed. But it has been at least a decade for the characters inside the world, meaning that Blue is likely 21 years old or older. That is not a dog who is able to dance, party, and freeze on a single toe. And the lies and deceit about Blue's age doesn't stop there.
If you jump to the reboot series and watch Season 1, Episode 11, Happy Birthday Blue, count the candles on the cake. Not only has she not aged, apparently she's aged backwards. Her cake has only 5 candles, 3 less than what she had when it was her birthday with Steve. The evidence just doesn't add up. And before you think that maybe this is a replacement dog, it's not. It is confirmed to be the same Blue from the old series by both Steve and Joe. So if it's the same dog 20 plus years later, how can Blue still be alive and kicking? The only reasonable explanation is that Blue isn't a dog at all. But to prove that, we got to find ourselves some more clue. A clue!
Tattoo? Yeah, I got one of those in the small of my back. It's a clue. It's a cute little butterfly. Why do you ask? No, a clue? Oh, a clue. And it's on Blue's paw print. Isn't that meta? So why would Blue's paw be a clue? Well, it's because their enemy.
How do you say that word?
I got one of those in the small of my back. It's a cute little butterfly. Why do you ask? No, a clue. Oh, a clue. And it's on Blue's paw print. Isn't that meta? So why would Blue's paw be a clue? Well, it's because her anatomy isn't like a dog. For starters, she's able to pick up books with opposable thumbs. You don't have to be a vet or have a master's in animal science to know that dogs do not have thumbs. And yet, on many occasions throughout the show, the promotional artwork we see Blue holding things, rowing rafts, holding a pipping bag or a guitar, all with a big opposable thumb, a thumb that is somehow able to retract back into her hand. Sorry, let me rephrase this. Blue's whole paw is able to morph and change. Blue normally has herself 3 obvious toes as she hops around the house. This is constant to her design across all interactions of the show. And yet, when she goes up to smash a paw print on the screen for a clue, or during the intro sequence, she grows a 4th toe. And also, again, the humanoid monkey thumb that is hidden somewhere in there too. That is not a normal anatomy. Why has this not raised anyone's alarms before? And the non-dog behavior doesn't stop there either. In Season 6, Episode 8, Soccer Practice, Blue and her gang play a game of soccer. After they're done, they all sit down to share some chocolate ice cream. Yep, you heard me right. Chocolate ice cream. I think most people know that giving dogs chocolate is basically like giving them poison. But ice cream is just as bad for the dog. I can lead bloating to vomiting.
But here at the end of the episode, both Blue and her friend Magenta are eating chocolate ice cream. Clearly, there are 2 apostles among us. And right now, Blue and Magenta be looking mad sus. Whatever she's doing, she is clearly not a dog. However, then I can prove that she's from another planet. Well, just by watching the show in Season 6, Episode 1, The Legend of the Blue Puppy. Joe and the gang are watching a blue moon. All of a sudden, the Moona and the Moon Fairy appears. And as the story goes, at the night of the very first blue moon, a whole litter of puppies just appear out of nowhere. But one was different from the other. She was blue. This is not a dog. This is an alien trying to look like a dog and failing miserably. It's also at this point that I should probably mention Blue's other origin story. In Season 5 holiday episode, we found out that Blue again is not a normal dog. It says she appeared out of a storybook just because Steve wished her into reality. Steve gets this mysterious book in the mail from an unmarked package about a blue dog who doesn't do normal dog things. We're told that Blue wants a friend who could teach her all the songs and stories and games. The book then ends with the most abrupt fourth wall break imaginable. That night, Blue jumps out of the storybook using the magical power of skidooing. The rest in history. Now it would seem like a blue moon in a book of stories would contradict, but they don't. In fact, they just repeat each other. They're just the same story told differently. Blue is a creature that came into being because of the blue moon and was immediately different from normal dogs.
That much is very clear, and it would seem that one power that the moon puppy possesses is the power to skidoo, hopping into fictional worlds like books and paintings. This is a skill that seems specific to moon puppies like Blue, who are then able to pass along those abilities to their caretakers who get exposed to her. Notice how she shocked everyone in the first time that she skidoos into a world, but eventually they're all doing it. Anyways, Blue wound up inside of a book, waiting for the right human caretaker who would then be able to teach her human ways. But skidooing isn't her only magic power. Returning back to the moon fairies in the Legend of Blue Puppies episode, we see Blue has even greater ability. Spoiler alert, it's not what you think. Yep, it's a mysterious key. Late season Blue's Clues gets to some weird places. Man, the TLDW of all of this is that Blue is finally old enough to unlock her secret ability, the key, which has been hidden inside her alien dog stuffed animal the whole time. Hint, hint. Opinion opens Blue's magical playroom. Blue transforms into a giant puppy, and she can talk. No, thank you. I'll just go back to the barking, please. But what's interesting is that that time moves differently inside of Blue's room. We can actually see from the clock in the background that each toy box segment here doesn't run at the same time as outside the toy box. The whole thing functions like a hyperbolic time chamber from Dragon Ball Z, where decades of training can get done inside of a room in mere minutes of real time. So, this is a similar sort of facility. Is Blue's room a place for Blue to hone her powers of human speech? Seems like the next clear evolution for Blue species. So, if we were to harness her true alien powers within Blue's room, what would the fully evolved form of Blue's species look like? Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you Rainbow Puppy, the newest addition to the roster added as part of the reboot. Rather than just being one color, Rainbow Puppy is, as you might have guessed, a rainbow. More importantly, though, she can speak fluent English and walks on 2 feet rather than 4 like Blue and Magenta. Not only does this Rainbow Puppy less dog-like, she's clearly a more powerful version. In Season 3, Episode 11 of the reboot, Rainbow Puppy's skidoo adventure, we see that she can skidoo way more than Blue ever could. In most episodes, Blue manages to skidoo like once, maybe twice. But in this episode, Rainbow Puppy skidoos to Chalk World, the post office, the farm, the ocean, the theater, Rainbow World, and finally Skidoo World. 7 times in a single episode, she is clearly stronger than Blue or Magenta ever were. And on top of that, she doesn't have an owner. Blue and Magenta both have owners, but I'm guessing Rainbow Puppy doesn't because of her abilities. She doesn't need a character like the other because she's a fully involved version of whatever. Alien species these creatures are meant to be. Well, will the same happen to Blue? Will she soon have enough power of her own that she no longer requires an owner? Absolutely. You can actually see in the start of it out Blue unlocks her room. Joe, her character at the time, is completely sidelined. He doesn't know where Blue's disappeared off to. Heck, he doesn't even learn about Blue's room until we tell him. He's clearly left on the outs. With Steve, it was always about his relationship with Blue. But once Blue unlocks her final ability, Joe receives no purpose. He's not needed anymore. It's all about you, the viewer. The one who's allowed inside Blue's room. In fact, Blue is not interested in Joe anymore. That she does not even play Blue's Clues with him. Joe has to be one has to be the one to create the game himself. He would not. Joe is an afterthought. The humans have served their purpose. We even catch glimpses of Blue standing on 2 feet in the recently released movie. She's starting to evolve to a higher powered being. She's starting to approach the levels of Rainbow Puppy. In this new Blue's Clues movie, we see Blue's powers to an extreme degree. She's able to skidoo a whole bus through a billboard to get to New York City. And while they're in New York, everyday items like a mailbox, mustard and salt and pepper shakers come to life as Blue walks past. Blue has the ability to create living beings. So we've established that Blue is clearly not a dog from Earth. But what's the goal here? After sitting down in my thinking chair to think, I realized Blue's true purpose. She's training up to become the next Rainbow Dog. And so what's Rainbow Dog's deal? Domination. In Rainbow Puppy's Skidoo adventure, we see Skidoo World for the first time ever. The world that Josh and Blue travel between when they skidoo in this world. I noticed a few interesting things. One, rainbow colored, showing rainbow control over this meta space. But secondly, we see lots of pictures throughout Skidoo World. These aren't random photos either. They all represent different Skidoo locations throughout the series. The planet picture represents Season 2, Episode 4. What experiment does Blue want to try? Where they skidoo into space. A jungle in Season 2, Episode 4 of the reboot, Blue's Big Baking Show, where they skidoo into a jungle, and the gingerbread house is from Season 2, Episode 6 of the reboot. Blue's Night Before Christmas, where they skidoo into the North Pole. These aren't just random places. This world holds the place that Josh and Blue have been traveling to, and it holds the magic that makes everything come alive. This isn't just a portal, it is a hub world. When any of the puppies skidoo, the power to go there again is stored here in the Skidoo world. They've been capturing locations across the world, allowing them to have simulations, control over everything. Blue and Rainbow Puppy may seem friendly, but believe me when I say anyone that claims to be a dog but can walk, eat chocolate, and have opposable thumbs is someone that cannot be trusted. Get this. Get as far away as he can from Blue and her friends, because she could be skidooing to a place near you. And never go into Blue's room alone. They're all just using you. Instead, you probably just say, "So long, there's no time for one more song." If you manage to do that, friends, I got to thank you for doing your part, you guys. Sure are smart, but hey, that's just a theory, a film theory. And if you want to watch the dark series of Moana, check out the video on the left. Spoiler alert, that game's programming gets real weird. Or if you want to check why you shouldn't trust Maui from Moana, that video's to the right. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm still looking for the third clue. Anyone see this clue?
Hit that subscribe button. And make sure you smash that like button. Thanks for watching our podcast. Bye.